You could just feel something was off the last few weeks, right? Everybody was trying to stay optimistic, hoping maybe somehow things would turn around, but now that the news is official, it definitely changes the vibe around this defense heading into the season. And the crazy part is, this team still feels like it's building towards something big, which makes losing a player like this hurt even more for Browns fans who know how important he was to the energy of this squad. Before we get into all the details, make sure you smash that like button and drop "Here we go, Brownies" in the comments if you're riding with this team no matter what happens this season. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah will not play for the Cleveland Browns in 2026, and even though many people around the organization feared this outcome for months, the official confirmation still hits hard for Browns fans who know exactly how important he was to this defense. The Browns officially placed Jock on the physically unable to perform list before final roster cutdowns, which under NFL rules means he is automatically ruled out for the entire season. That makes it 2 straight years without one of the fastest and most explosive defenders this franchise has developed in recent memory. And honestly, when you really stop and think about what this defense could have looked like with a healthy Owusu-Koramoah, it becomes even more frustrating. Imagine a linebacker group featuring J.O.K. alongside Carson Schwezinger and Quincy Williams. That kind of speed across the middle of the field would have completely changed the identity of the Browns' defense. Offensive coordinators would have struggled to attack the edges. Quarterbacks would have had less time to react, and the Browns would have had 3 linebackers capable of flying sideline to sideline on every single snap. Instead, Cleveland now has to move forward without one of the most exciting defenders drafted during the Andrew Berry era. Browns fans remember exactly how dynamic J.O.K. was when healthy. This was not just another linebacker putting up average numbers. He was a true playmaker. A Pro Bowler in 2023, 8 career sacks, 6 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions, and countless momentum-shifting moments that changed games instantly. His speed allowed him to cover tight ends, chase quarterbacks, and blow up running plays before they even developed. There were stretches where he looked like the emotional engine of the entire defense. That is why this news feels bigger than just another injury update. This is a player Cleveland believed could become one of the long-term foundational pieces of the defense. And now serious questions begin about his future with the organization. Technically, J.O.K. still has time remaining on his contract, but nobody truly knows what his football future looks like after missing this much time. The Browns clearly are prioritizing his long-term health, but fans are already wondering whether he will ever wear a Browns uniform again after 2026. What makes this even more interesting is the timing. Cleveland actually feels closer to contention than many national analysts want to admit. The roster improvements this offseason were real. The offensive line additions matter. The draft class brought energy back into the building. And internally, there is genuine belief that if the quarterback situation stabilizes, this team can compete sooner rather than later. Whether that comes from Shedeur Sanders developing quickly or Deshaun Watson somehow returning to form, the Browns clearly believe they are building toward something significant. That is why losing J.O.K. hurts so much. He was supposed to be part of that next wave. He was supposed to be one of the defensive leaders during this transition into the next era of Browns football. Instead, Cleveland now enters the season with major questions at linebacker depth behind the projected starters. The Browns do have bodies in the room, but there is uncertainty everywhere after the top names. Nathaniel Watson has flashed at times, but consistency remains the concern. Winston Reed has upside, though the coaching staff still needs to see more reliability week after week. Then there is rookie Justin Jefferson out of Alabama, selected in the 5th round. Right now, many around the organization see him more as a special teams contributor and developmental depth piece rather than somebody immediately ready to handle a major defensive workload. That reality naturally leads to the next question everybody in Cleveland is asking right now. Do the Browns need to sign another veteran linebacker before training camp fully ramps up? Because when you look at the remaining free agent market, there are still experienced names available who could immediately help stabilize this defense. And if Cleveland truly believes this roster is close to competing, adding another proven linebacker suddenly becomes a very serious possibility instead of just a luxury move. So now the pressure shifts directly onto Andrew Berry and the front office. Do they trust the young depth already in the building? Or do they aggressively pursue a veteran to replace at least part of what Joe K brought to this defense emotionally and athletically? What do you think Browns fans should do after losing Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah for the entire 2026 season? So now, Browns fans, the big question becomes, what happens next for this defense without Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in the middle of it all? Do you trust the young linebackers already on the roster? Or do you think Andrew Berry has to go out and sign a veteran before the season starts? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I really want to hear how you guys feel about this situation and what move you think Cleveland should make next. And if you're a real Browns fan that wants breaking news, roster updates, trade rumors, and daily Browns coverage all season long, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Turn on notifications, leave a like on the video, and stay locked in, because the fastest Browns news and analysis is always going to be right here. And while you're here, click on the next video that's on your screen right now, because you do not want to miss the latest update coming out of Cleveland.